Hey guys, welcome back to the Wood and Metal Workshop. I'm Kent. So got another shop improvement project. I've been using these to hold my collets for the mill, which is great, but you have to have something to set them on, and they're kind of in the way all the time. And they be like any flat surface in the shop. It's got flat surface disease. It gets covered in crap. So if you don't know what a collet is, this is a collet. You put it in your mill. Holds end mills, drill bits, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different sizes, along with other R8 tool holders, end mill holder, a Morse taper 2 adapter, keyless drill chuck. So you've got all that stuff that you've got to have convenient, and you can put it in a drawer, which would be great. But once again, got to have storage there, takes up floor space and whatnot. A lot of guys will make a little simple plywood rack to put on the side of the mill. I don't want to do that. It's just not convenient where the mill's sitting. So I came up with this. So this will mount to the post, steel post next to the drill. Has spots for 16 collets or other stuff. If you check out my Instagram, if you want to do that, you can see some pictures of making a dimple die. So I can dimple these holes. Kind of cool. First time making a dimple die. That's why I didn't do a video on it, because I've never done it before. So I wanted to do it off camera and figure it out. So dimple die. And this, I've got a sheet of sheet metal over here. So we're going to deconstruct this, lay it out on the sheet metal, cut it out, do our holes, bends, a little bit of welding, and maybe some paint. Alright, so here's what we're starting with. Let's get this thing torn down. Making cardboard templates, or CAD as some people call it, that'd be cardboard aided design, is a great way to mock something up because it's inexpensive. You've got the cost of some scissors, some cardboard, and that's about it. The other problem is my collets sit way too low in here. You can't grab them. You got to push them up from the bottom to get them out. So that's also a pain. So we'll go ahead and get all this tape off of here. Just gonna fit on here. That was the plan. There we go. Okay, now the question is what to cut it with. Tin snips, sure. Don't have a shear, can't use that. Alright, we're going to think about this for a minute. Suppose we can draw the other one out here while we're waiting, while we're thinking. Well, we'll cut as much as we can with the power shear, and then we'll figure out the small cuts. Tin snips, probably. Okay, I just got these little arcs to cut out. There's really no good way to get in there to do it. Alright guys, gonna take a little break. Gotta go out to the truck, get some jigsaw blades. Well, I think we'll finish that off with the jigsaw. This might be one of the most overlooked metalworking tools on the planet. Really is. Make sure it's on 0. Switch glasses because we're going to throw some chips now. A little tappy tap tap to flatten this back out. Ooh. Okay, and as usual, I like to take a Sharpie and just circle all my holes. Makes it much easier when you get over to the drilling stage so you can locate them quickly. Last thing to do is to mark out a couple of holes in the flange here where it's going to bolt to the post. Okay, let's move over to the drill press. Okay, decided that we're going to do an 1 1/16 hole. Got an 1/16 hole saw. I would prefer to use like a step bit for this, but I don't have one that's.
I wanna shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. She loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind. Yeah, it blows my mind. She's my lover. She's my lover.
Alright, gentlemen, dimple die time. I'm going to take my number stamps and go ahead and stamp this with the die with size on it. But yeah, sheet's already stiffer by the time we put the bends in it. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's move over to the brake. All right, guys, let's see if we can get this bent up in a nice manner here. Oops, that was supposed to bend the other way. My bad. That's okay. We can fix that. Huh. Give me just a minute here. You know what? Should have bent this one first. Okay. I have to open that back up some. A little bit too much. And we'll have to bend those by hand, so we'll just go ahead and Alright, time for a little tappy tap tap and a little manual bending. While we have this set up, let's go ahead and make our bends on this. So, to get my line, I'm just going to use my template as a template. I did off camera. I went ahead and put the 2 holes in here. time for a little bit of welding. Finally.
She loves me, yes.
Alright guys, I don't think you want to watch me paint, so I'm just going to go with this Scotch-Brite, acetone, primer, self-etching, and we'll pick out a paint color. So, bring it back when it's done. Well, there we go guys, all mounted up, collets in place, Morse taper adapter, one of my end mill holders that has an end mill in it, drill chuck, and then a shelf to put, I got some cutting fluid and the countersinks sitting up there. Countersinks really don't have a good place to go in the shop yet, so, because they're in a rack. If they're in a box, they'd go in a drawer, but they're in a rack, so sitting up there, out of the way, kind of works. So, I think that's it. What would I change? I'm going to start adding this to some of my videos when I finish a project and get it in use and find out what I would change. So, it's a little bit wiggly. Nothing's going to fall out. It's not going to fall down. It's just this back support is where it's mounted. It's just 20 gauge sheet metal. Could have been thicker. The whole thing was supposed to be thicker. Originally when I was designing this and planning it, I was thinking about going with 16 gauge. This is 20 because it's what I had. I didn't want to cut up a whole sheet of 16 gauge just for this one little project. And I didn't want to wait until I had a smaller piece. And if you've been watching steel prices at all, kind of nuts to go to the steel yard to buy one little piece of steel because it's going to cost you a fortune. Anyhow, it'll work. I've still got the patterns, so if I decide it doesn't work, if it really bugs me, you know, the thing is, this post doesn't shake. Nothing's touching it. The odds of it shaking, pretty slim unless you touch it. So, I think it'll work just fine. It'll do what I want to do. Mill's right here, so I can grab a collet, right in. So, that was the goal, was to put the collets and tools that we use all the time right next to the mill, where they belong. There's a cord right in front of my face. Is that better? Maybe. I don't know. Anyhow, thanks for watching. If you like what we did here today, please hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers, tell your dog. Dogs like to watch this show. We got dogs on the show occasionally. Yeah, Remy's not here with me this week. Remy's not in the shop today. If you don't know, that's our 170-pound Great Dane shop dog. Yeah, he's not here today. Anyhow, go ahead and let's get more subscribers, more views, and we'll catch you in the next one. And don't forget the thumbs up.